It's gardening update time. It's February 2025 and we're going to show you our backyard in Brisbane, what we're growing, what we're doing, what we're eating. Starting off, we have our tomato trellis here. On the left hand side we have the heirloom tomatoes. They're the fancy expensive tomatoes, and a bit disappointing only getting about one tomato. It does look nice, but only one tomato there. On the right hand side here we have the generic beefsteak tomatoes, and these are just doing great. I mean, each tomato plant has about 2 to 3 big tomatoes on it, and they're all looking very healthy. So the cheaper alternative, the beefsteak tomatoes, are doing much better in our opinion than the heirloom tomatoes. But make sure you subscribe and keep watching for when we do a taste test of the heirloom tomatoes versus the cheaper beefsteak tomatoes. Moving on, we've got the pumpkins here and the rock melons. Again, not doing incredibly well. We have a couple down here, if you'll see. We've got a pumpkin on the grow right now here. Okay, and plenty of flowers. Here's one that's open now. Plenty of flowers, all getting pollinated. It's doing nicely, just not as nicely as I'd hoped, but we'll stay tuned, we'll be patient, we'll keep watering, we'll see what happens. Here we've got a rock melon on this side. It's a bit dark. We've got a rock melon here. You can see the base of it looking very nice. So that's coming along. We've bagged that up to protect it from predators. But that's it. That's our rock melon pumpkin vine going. And here we've got the asparagus. No big update on the asparagus. New spears are continuing to shoot through. There's one here, if I can just grab that out, if you can see that. Yeah. Asparagus spear there. So they're going nicely. Haven't eaten any yet, just letting it all grow out. And then we have our main crop of the evening. This is the snake bean. Heaps of videos we've done on the snake beans, but it's doing so well, and it just continues to provide the goods. I mean, it's just absolutely covered. If you see here on the side, beans everywhere. Different sizes, different shapes, different ages. There's always some beans available to eat. We had so many, I even gave some to a friend of mine. That's how many we had. Moving on though, we have the corn square. A bit of wind, a bit of a storm came through and knocked down a lot of the corn, so we're holding it up here best we can. It's still doing okay. And we just have a corn whenever we feel like eating corn. It's great. Just rip it off, cook it up, very tasty. Here we have the catastrophe of the garden. This happened just today. You'll see here, if you come in close, if you remember from our February update, our January update, all this netting was holding up the peas and it's fallen over. What happened? A storm, lightning strike, cyclone? You'll be wrong. We captured in here a possum. In here, a possum was caught in here like a snare trap. So we had to do some bravery to get it escaped. But in the end, the possum ran off free, but at the cost, we lost our peas. Okay, so no more sweet peas, unfortunately, but that's life, it happens. Moving on, we've got our sugar cane. Now if I stand next to it, I'm about 7 foot tall, 8 foot tall, and this is taller than me. So the sugar cane is absolutely shooting off, which is great. Can't wait to harvest some tasty nectar off that. Down here we have our spring onions. Plenty to choose from. They grow back so quick and they're so easy to grow, the spring onions. You can see a different variety here, slightly different in color. Okay, and then we have back here so much ginger growing everywhere. Look at the nice ferny pattern the leaves have, very nice. Moving on, we've got this tomato that just won't die, so we'll just leave it there, let it live its life. But it doesn't produce any tomatoes anymore. A couple more small spring onions and a garlic down here. Not doing too much. If you've been watching all of our videos, you'll notice what we planted here were some more sweet peas, but apparently snow peas don't like summer. Who would have thought? So too much rain, too much heat, they just can't survive. They're just shriveled up and rotted, the roots. There's a couple still going. We'll let them go, but summer is not the time for peas, unfortunately. Summer is the time for beans, which we have plenty of beans growing. These are the dwarf variety, so they should only grow about this high and then just keep outputting beans. So probably another month at least for these ones, and then we'll have another variety of beans to try. And finally, the last thing we're still kind of growing is our leeks. We still have quite a few big leeks to eat and a couple of small ones, so that's all the stuff we're growing. But what about what we're not growing? What about what we've been building? What have we been building at LM Farm? Well, let's take a look over here to our new patio. Wow, who would have thought we'd put this together, huh? We have this nice grass here, fake but nice. Got a nice table, got our chairs set up. We have this makeshift roof here made of the old laundry clothesline, and then we put some sheet metal on top of that and we struck that down. So that's our nice little roof and our nice little outdoor entertaining area where we entertain each other. We have some storage here, just some tools and different gardening equipment, some secateurs, scissors, different plant chemicals in here, okay, just different things we use around the garden. Got our hose here and just some buckets. But this is it. This is the February update. We've built some things, we've grown some things, we've watched some things get destroyed, and that's it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. What are you growing in your garden in February 2025?